It's Carrie with Carrie's Designs for Stamper's Best Design Team today, and I wanted to show you a project that I had made. I'm starting to make some of my favorite photos into displays. That way I can hang them up around my room instead of keeping them in a 12 by 12 scrapbook, which I have a lot of them in there too, but I wanted to start doing displays so I could display some of my my creativity and some of my photographs. This is one of my favorite pictures I have of the three loves of my life, and I wanted to showcase it a little bit better. So I had gotten the stamps from Stamper's Best, and I absolutely positively love this antique camera. I collect antique cameras, and so this one is near and dear to my heart. So I wanted to add it in to this photo that I love so much. I also used another Stamper's Best, and it was the little photo strips, and I embossed that one, and I used the quote, "A picture is worth 1,000 words." But I want to show you today, there's the stamp right there, and it is just a gorgeous, gorgeous stamp. And then there is the other stamp, and I have embossed it to look a little bit more like plastic of the photos themselves. So there's my project I had done for Stamper's Best, and love it, love the way it came out. I think the stamps added greatly to the photo. They enhanced the photo as much as the photo enhanced the stamps. So let me show you what I did to create this and this. So the first thing I did is I used this stamp set, and this is the Stamper's Best. This was the unmounted because I've already got their cling cushion, which is so nice to use. And here's the stamp. And if you don't have the acrylic blocks, if you don't have acrylic blocks to go with these, Stamper's Best does now offer those. So I used the distressing ink, which sometimes I'm not a big fan of, just because I like my images to be really, really clear, but since this image is so vintage, it worked perfectly, and love the way it came out. So you stamp it up, and I usually stamp it on something like a notebook or a mouse pad or something, and voila, look at the beauty in that. Look how pretty that came out. It is just gorgeous. Now I stamped this on a little bit of a pattern paper to give it a little bit more texture. You don't have to do that. It just depends on what you want to do. But I'm going to make a new Stamper's Best sign, and I'm using this camera because I think it's fantastic. So there's that. Now I don't have a saying for this one, but that's okay. I'm going to go ahead and stamp it, and I'm kind of going to make it a frame. And then in my frame that I'm making from this, I will put something in there pertaining to Stamper's Best and me being on their design team. I'm just going to put it here along the corner or along the edge. That way you have less to cut, you know what I mean? So, and then I'm going to take my embossing powders right here and put it on the edge here. Get it all over. Look at the embossed image. I mean, can you see that? Look how good that is. It's just the embossed image of it. And let's see if we can go ahead and try 3 more sides of this. This is the first time I've done this kind of thing. So you're going to ink it up, and you know, depending on what kind of embossing things you have. Let's see how closely we can get this lined up. Not too bad. Let's use some more embossing. Squish it around a little bit. There's the second one. Alright, 2 more to go. So far, so good. So far, so good. It may be a little bit off, but that's okay. You know what? I strive for it to be good, not for it to be perfect. And it depends on what kind of embossing powders you use too. There's all kinds of use out there. Okay, one more edge. Not too bad. I can fix it up because I can cut these separately out too, and then make them into a frame, which is probably what I'm going to do. depending on how big my frame is going to be, because I don't think I'm going to meet it here exactly. So let's see what we get here. I will be just as surprised as you guys. Okay, so there is a little bit of my frame. It's a little bit off, but that's okay. I'll cut out the separate pieces to do it. And then let's do some of the embossing here. This is the part that seems to take the longest, but I think it's the part that's the most satisfying because you can see the embossing come to life. And I love to emboss because of the effect that you can get with it. Alright. And there is partially my frame done. Again, I'm going to cut it out in four separate things. But there's the stamp, and I love this stamp. It's just gorgeous. And it works on anything. But there's a little help on how to do that. But there's the completed project again with the Stamper's Best. Did a little extra stuff on that and actually put a black mat around it to pop it up a little bit more, and use the stamps. Check it out. It's Stamper's Best. They have wonderful stamps. And see you next time with my next project. Thanks. Bye.